What's up guys, Protagonist here, and today I'll be doing an all-new deck profile on my Gurguit Ezel deck, aka the Gold Paladin Card Protagonist deck, because this deck is similar to my Oddmal deck, which has the backup grade 3, which is a Link Joker hate, of course, because Gold Paladins as well as Royal Paladins have a bad matchup against Link Jokers. So this deck is currently what I'm using. That's why I call it the Card Protagonist Gold Paladin deck, because if you see my deck box, most of the time I'm carrying around this gigantic, enormous deck box. Most of the times it will be containing my Oddmal deck or my Ezel deck. So if you fight me, most likely it's gonna be these two decks. Yeah, alright, this deck is what I'm gonna be using for now before GB707 comes out. GB7 has, today's episode of Vanguard actually released a new Gurguit card, and I'm actually very excited for it because it actually went up to 63k, which I'm quite excited. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy who loves big numbers. So yeah, but for now we stick to this deck. This deck is really balanced because it is able to adapt to any situation, Link Jokers, any deck, due to the fact that it has a lot of power and superior calling similar to Royal Paladins, and of course it has better anti-Link Jokers mechanics compared to the Royal Paladins, because Ezel itself is also an anti-Link Joker which unlocks the whole field, which is amazing. Alright, let's go on to the deck profile right now. First we of course go through our grade 3s. Alright, first we play 4 Gurgits from the new start deck. Very nice art. His skill is GB2. When this unit were to get attacked, you may activate his skill of Count Blast 1 and Soul Blast 1. If you do, look at top 4 cards of the deck and superior call one of them into your Guardian Circle. This card is great because it allows you to fetch out your perfect guards so that you can protect against some nonsensical stuff such as Phantom Blast Diablo skill. Yeah, Phantom Blast Diablo, right? Because it is superior card from the deck. So if you feel like you don't have any more rear guards and you really want to live, use a skill, gamble out a perfect guard. Not advisable because unless you have got luck, this will save your life. Alright, this is also very good because if you were to have run a low hand size, if you have low hand size, you can actually use a Count Blast 1, Soul Blast 1 and actually fix up. Because high chance you'll be able to check a trigger at least, so that you become a 10k shield. Yeah, additional defense is always good. It's always good if you have cards that can unspend Counter Blast. So this is why Gurguit actually quite a defensive card by itself. So it is a very good card, very good effect. His second skill is his strike skill. Whenever you perform strike, so when you strike on a unit, you may Counter Blast 1. If you do, look at top 4 cards of the deck and superior call one of them onto your Vanguard Circle and it gains a 2k power. So that's great because at the cost of 1 Counter Blast, you'll be looking at the top 4 cards of the deck for any great superior call onto your field. So you can actually fix your field very nicely because it's not great restricted. But of course you gotta get lucky and don't check top 4 triggers like I always do. So yeah, 4 Gurgits for now, because Gurgits is still the only strike we have. And he's doing it very well. I really love him. He's really good in the deck. Next is 4 copies of Grand Ezel. The reason why I run 4 Grand Ezel is because for now, similar to Oddmal, we do not have a good backup grade 3. So Ezel is actually really good because his Stride Mitchell Ezel is also a fantastic card. And Ezel is also an anti-Link Joker card. Limit Break 4, Count Blast 2 and Soul Blast 2. Unlock every single one of your units, and you have 5 more units against us, 10k and 1 crit, and you may soul charge 1. Alright, so this skill basically helps you counter against Link Joker's lock. So if you were to fight Link Jokers similar to my Alpha deck, ride him of course, and you can screw over Link Jokers quite easily. Yeah, very nice. This card is fantastic. And his second ability is, for each Gold Paladin you control on the field gives us 1k power, so you most likely gonna have full field, so it's gonna be plus 5k. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5k. So it's a 16k solo. Very good. So yeah, definitely Grand Ezel. The best Ezel for now, especially to use for his strike. His strike is not only unlocker, it also gives you superior call and power adding. Fantastic. Alright, let's go on grade 2s. Grade 2 is 4 copies of Puyo, I don't know is his name. Puyo skill is, when this unit were to be boosted, you may Counter Blast 1 and look at top 4. Sorry, when this card were to be boosted and attacks the Vanguard, You may counterblast one and look at the top 3 cards of the deck and superior call one of them to your rearguard circle. This is great because sometimes you wanna attack the rearguard first. For example, let's say we have Ezel the rearguard, attack rearguard, attack boost, you can call another unit. So that means you'll be doing additional attacks. And if you combine that with Scourge Point, every superior call makes your attack stronger. So yeah, very, very good card. Definitely great. You use Counterblast to either build up your field or give you additional attack. Freaking fantastic. It's a twin swords for our deck basically. Alright, next is 4 copies of this Holy Priest. Holy Priest skill is rearguard skill. When this unit attack hits the Vanguard, you may pay the cost of 1 Counterblast and putting this guy into soul. If you do, look at top 3 cards of the deck and superior call one of them to your rearguard circle, and then place the rest of those cards at the bottom of your deck. Alright, so why is this card is good? Because it is a pressure game, it doesn't have a GB2 skill, so early game you could put it on the field, throw it on the field, and pressure opponents. But most likely opponents gotta guard it because of how pressurizing it is. And another thing to note is going to soul is not necessarily a bad thing because the new Gurguit, if I'm not wrong, it actually uses Soul Blast. So I really recommend you guys to at least charge out a bit of soul. But that will be a case next time, not now. Now, 3 copies of this guy. Basically, he is the exact same card as this. Same text. Rearguard skill. When this unit attack hits the Vanguard, you may counterblast one and put this guy into soul. If you do, look at top 3 cards of the deck, select one and call it the rearguard circle, and then place it at the bottom. So this is the first time I actually saw 2 cards with the same exact unit. Just that it's different name and different art. Oh, imagine they make a second Tidal Assault. So shit like this is actually possible. Yeah, freaking amazing. So basically I play 7 of these cards. 7 of the same cards in the deck. Interesting. But it's great because it is actually acts as a pressure card. Alright. Next we go on Great Ones. The Great Ones we play 4 Slay Me. Definitely my favorite Great Ones no matter what. I just love her name. I love how she saved my life many times. I know she might not be the best card in Gold Paladins. However, she actually saved my life and I really love using her. She always saves my life. She always fetch me that perfect guy I need. She's a good girl. What her skill is, GB1. While your Vanguard is getting attacked, you may send her to the drop zone or retire her. And check the top 3 cards of the deck and superior call one of those cards into your Guardian Circle. So once again, you can superior call a Perfect Guard if you actually need to. So that's the reason why you don't play Unflipper Perfect Guard, because Unflipper Perfect Guards cannot be used from the deck. So this is, unlike her, the cute Perfect Guard, you are able to Perfect Guard her even if you superior call her from the deck. So that's the reason why I don't play Unflipper Perfect Guards. Although Unflipper is actually quite important because the Counterblast solo might be a little problem, but for me, I didn't have a problem, so it's fine. Alright, next is 4 copies of Candice. Candice is freaking cute and amazing. Look at her. Her skill basically is Perfect Guard. This got 1 to 95 attack. Great, because it can be utilized with Slimy and... let's call Slimy and Gurguit, yeah. Next, 4 Strike Helpers. This is a Strike deck, so definitely want to max out on Strike Helpers. And of course, riding onto Gurguit is very important, so you can always call into Rearguard Circle early game before you ride Grade 3 and search your deck for Gurguit and make sure you ride Gurguit. And otherwise, if you fight against Lin Joker, just ride your Ezel. 1 copy of Doge Kugel. I just love how it looks. It looks like a wolf. Yeah. What Kugel is GB1. While this card is caught from the deck to your Rearguard Circle, draw 1 card. So basically it's a Dindrain for no Soul Blast cost. I used to use Dindrain, but after I realized that this deck is a G deck, I choose to use him instead because anyway, I try to keep my Soul Blast in my soul since I'll be using some Soul Blast in the deck, such as this card. Basically when this card enters the Rearguard Circle, you may Soul Blast 2 to unflip 2 damage. So this card is pretty handy as well for that extra counter charge. Alright, let us go on to triggers. Trigger lineup is quite interesting. It's the reason why is because I actually made a bit of changes from my how-to build. 8 copies of Crit. Flame of Victory, enter the soul plus 3k to 1 unit on the field. 8 crits. Not 4 draws, but 4 stands. I use this deck a lot and it actually decked me up quite a lot because I'm able to tank quite a lot and I superior call a lot. So this, even though he's a Liberator, it doesn't mean you need a Liberator Vanguard. You can use it even if you have a Gurguit Vanguard. he's very good because when this card is called to the Regal Circle from your deck, you may shuffle him back into your deck. Sorry, put it at the bottom of the deck, something like that. And look at top 3 and Superior Call one card other than Catch Cow. Yeah. So he allows you to mitigate the so-called shitty Superior Calls, because I always Superior Call triggers. And yeah, getting him is not so bad. Get him, okay, go back to the deck and look top 3 for another one. So it's pretty awesome. 4 heals. G Guardians is out, so definitely play 4 heals. Very good. Very nice as well. And finally, it's starter. Activate skill, Unite. So I think he's the only Unite in the deck. So for now, I don't really play much Unites. Yeah. His skill Unite. So basically, Unite skill is when you call up to 2 cards from your hand to your field, you can all your units gain the Unite skill. Place this guy into your soul and look at top 3 cards of the deck and Superior Call one of them, and that unit gets 2k power. And then of course shuffle the deck after that. So yeah, because one of my videos I actually didn't shuffle the deck. My apologies. So 1 copy. Right, let us go on to the G zones. This time is of course 16G. First we're gonna play 4 Mitchell Ezel. The reason why I play Mitchell Ezel is obviously because I play Ezel, and this is an anti-Link Joker card. His ability is Activate. Once per turn, counterblast 1, flip out a copy of Mitchell Ezel in your G zone face up. If you do, unlock every unit. If you have a card with Ezel in the name, you may unlock every single unit you control, and then look at top 5 cards and Superior Call one of them onto your Regal Circle. After that, the Vanguard and that Superior Call card gains power equals to the card Superior Call. So for example, let's say you Superior Call a heal trigger if you have bad luck like me, bad luck Brian. Superior Call a heal trigger, gains us 5k, heal trigger gives us 5k power. If you Superior Call, let's say, a 9k Vanguard, it gains a 9k, gave us 9k, so it becomes 18k solo. So that's very interesting because not only he unlocks all regards like the Holy Squire Dragon, he allows you to fetch out units and gain power as well. So that's great because not only even if you don't fight Link Jokers and you ride to Ezel, if you strike into him, it is still good because he still nets you a +1 at the cost of 1 counter blast and huge power, because you're gonna get 6k or 9k to anywhere. So very, very good card. 4 copies. Definitely recommend you guys play, because you never know in the tournament when you're gonna be fighting Link Jokers, and this guy actually saved me a lot against Link Jokers. Alright, next is the boss monster of the deck. 4 copies of Scourge Point Dragon from FC or the start deck. This guy goes really well with Gurguit because, give me a sec. Alright, because Gurgit's skill allows you to fetch on units. So what his skill is, whenever a card is Superior Called to a Regal Circle from your deck, this unit and that unit gets us 5k power. So imagine this, you strike break, count blast 1, Superior Call 1, that unit gets us 2k power plus 5k power, and it gains us 5k power. And then if you use your wheel to Superior Call more cards, then new card gives us 5k power. It's very good because the effect actually stacks. So this guy can gain huge power while your Regals also get power up. Very nice skill, well synergized with the deck. 2 copies of the new cards from FC. I think Tyro tried this today. His skill is, when this card enters the Vanguard Circle, you may counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1. If you do, check the top 2 cards of the deck and Superior Call one of them. And place the rest of them at the bottom of the deck in any order. So yeah, so basically what I would do is, if my opponent was still at 1 or 2 damage and I don't think I want to go for a Scourge Point, I'll just go for him and recruit a free unit. And if I know my opponent's going to guard this guy, I'm definitely going to recruit and I definitely want a free unit, I will just go for him at the cost of 1 counter blast on Soul Blast. So it's not just an option. If otherwise your first strike, you could go for these or this. These 2 are your first strike options. This one is more on hit effect. When this unit attack hits the Vanguard, you may check your top 5 cards of the deck and Superior Call one of them, and the unit gets a 2k power. This is more this is also great because if you're not finishing your opponents off, your opponent most only 1 guard, so you're gonna get free unit for no counter blast or nothing. But if you think your opponent's gonna guard and you want it free, we really want a unit to use him. First strike choices, second strike onwards, if your opponent has 3 damage or more, go for Scourge Point. Scourge Point is a very, very strong finisher. It may look like nothing, but if once you play, you know why it's good. Fabrice, anti-great lock. Because if your opponent refuses to ride, you can Counter Blast 2, strike from your G zone, and you can trigger off all your G skills. Alright, next is the G Guardians. 3 copies of the Gold Paladin G Guardians. She is really amazing because she is one of the easiest card to pull off. Her skill is when this card enters the Guardian circle, yeah, if you control 2 or more units against a 5k power, 2 or more regards, yeah. So just like that, very easy 20k shoes. And of course, 1 copy of Screw, just in case I fight against the next stage. Very powerful card. Her skill is, while this card enters a Guardian circle and you have a card face up in the G zone, you may pay a cost of discarding 1 card if you do against a 10k shield. So it's a 25k shield by itself. Freaking amazing. If you can see that it's a 15k here, it's an additional 10k. So that's 15k shield. Freaking amazing. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my deck profile on my Ezel Gurguit deck, aka my Gold Paladin deck. Be sure to add me on Facebook and subscribe to my channel if you love more deck profiles such as this. I specialize mostly on the Unite Sentry clans, so if you want to ask me advice for other clans, I will try my best, but of course I might not give you the best answers, so pardon me if I give you bad answers sometimes, because I actually reply a lot of message and I got like tons of message daily, so yeah. So I thank you guys for staying to the end. If you enjoyed the deck profile, of course, add me on Facebook and like this video. Peace out, and I see you on the next video. Bye guys, love you all.